Hello again folks, and welcome to Black Bear Outdoors. Now today we're going to be cleaning our Marlin 336 lever action rifle, chambered in 30-30. Before we start, this is not a full disassembly, so we're not going to remove the trigger group or any stocks or anything like that. This is just a clean after a range day, so we're going to be working on the bolt, the barrel and the chamber and so on, right? Also, this is just how we do it. I'm sure there's a number of different ways that people do this and different products that they use. This is just our selection, right? A little bit of admin stuff. So every direction that we're going to be manipulating the rifle in has been cleared safe. The rifle has been cleared and there's no ammunition around. All right, so let's get started with what you're going to need. Firstly, we use break-free CLP. We use this on all of our firearms. It's clean, lube and protect. The US military has been using it for decades, so there must be something to it. You're also going to need a flathead screwdriver, right? Don't be like me, get a decent set of screwdrivers so you don't mar your screws or anything like that. I just use a regular one, which is probably silly. I also have a polymer brush. Now this particular one is from an AR kit, but they come with all kinds of cleaning kits and you can get them individually online for cheap as well. We're going to need our trusty cloth. We are going to be using a cleaning rod. We're also going to be using one of my favorites, a 30 caliber bore snake. And we're also going to be using some cleaning patches, right? Alright, so let's get straight to it. So the first thing you want to do is remove your lever, right? So what you're going to do is you're going to pull it back to roughly where that kind of position, right? So where that gap there is just above the hammer. Then we're going to grab our screwdriver and be careful not to damage the screw, but we're going to remove that screw right there, right? Don't go all Incredible Hulk on it. Also be careful not to lose this, right? Then we can pull out our lever. I'll set that aside. And with that, our bolt will be able to come out of the rear of the rifle like that. So you just push down on the hammer a little bit to let it guide through. So that gives you access to the chamber as well as the barrel. Now be careful, your extractor is inside there. I'm going to try and show you it. Hopefully you can see it. Tiny little spring in there. Now if your fingers are small enough, you can use them. I will probably use needle nose pliers just to be on the safe side. I'm closing this up just to show you. There's only a little kind of hole there that holds it in place. So as you can see, when I flip it over, it falls out. Do not lose that extractor, guys. And this is what it looks like. Yeah, so you see that little knob there? That's what goes into the hole on the side of the receiver, right? So that goes in the hole in the side of the receiver. So be careful not to lose this. When I put this back, I might use some needle nose pliers. Alright, so that is as far as we're going to be disassembling our rifle. And let's get straight to work. First thing we're going to do is we're going to grab our cleaning rod and a patch. And we're going to thread the patch through the little loop here, like so. And we're going to give it a bit of a spray with CLP. And we're going to push it all the way through the barrel. So all the way through. A couple of times to get the CLP in there. And what the CLP is going to do, guys, it's going to start breaking down the carbon that's stuck in the barrel there. So therefore, we are going to put that aside for a little while, and then we're going to start working on the rest of the components, right? So what I like to do is I like to give my bolt a good spray with CLP, and the lever as well. And then I'm grabbing my brush and I'm going to give it a good scrub. See, one thing about it is this is going to remove any kind of buildup that could be on there, but also again, it lubes and protects the metal, right? So it helps with kind of wear and things like that, right? So just give it a good scrub down, get all the carbon off that you can. I'll just give the extractor a little squirt as well. And let it sit for a little while. Alright. What I'm also going to do is I'm going to take this brush and get it inside. And my little feed gate, I'll give that a little scrub usually. And just give it a bit of a scrub in there. See if you can get any buildup in there inside the chamber. You could use one of those round soft bristle brushes as well. Probably work better than the one I'm using right now. Alright, so now that we've given everything a good old scrub down, what we're going to do is we're going to give the CLP a few minutes to do its job, break down the carbon, and then we'll be right back. Alright folks, now that the CLP has had a chance to do its job, I'm going to grab my cloth and I'm going to start by just wiping down the lever here, getting the excess CLP off. Going to do the same with my bolt. Wipe that off. Make sure we get any bit of fluff that might come off your cloth there, but this one's pretty good for not doing that. Get that nice and shiny. Alright, you'll notice this little groove on the side here. That's the other part that holds your extractor in place, right? So it sits in that little hole that's in the side of the receiver, and then rides in that little groove in this little groove on the bolt, right? Alright, I'm going to give the extractor a bit of a wipe down too. Get the excess CLP off of it. Alright, now it's time for our bore snake. Now I really love these. They work really well for me. I know there's certain people who don't like them. They say they break in firearms, but I have never had that issue with the original Hoppies version. They're really cool because they got all kinds of bristles and stuff, and they actually polish it as they go through. And all you do, so that way, and just get it down the barrel like that. Take it through until you see the little weight pop up on the other side, and just pull it through once again. You probably won't be able to see that on camera, but that is one clean barrel. So what I do then, guys, I take my little cloth, I put it over the ejection port like that, and I use the back end of my brush to just kind of wipe some of the CLP out that I managed to get into the chamber there. And there we go. Alright, so time to put it back together. Now first thing we're going to put back is our little extractor. Now again, you can use a set of tweezers or needle nose pliers depending on your dexterity, and if you're lucky you can do it with your fingers and get it into that little hole there. I hope you can see what I'm doing here. So the easiest way I found to do this is to put it in and then slowly slide it backwards until it drops into the little hole that retains it, right? Next, what we're going to do, and this is optional, but I like to do it, I just give my bolt a little smear of CLP before I put it back, just for a bit of lube. And then we slide our bolt back in. Again, pull down on the hammer if you have to. Again, right to that point where that gap is above the hammer. And now you'll see when you put your lever back in, you can feel it going into that slot there, right? Put our little screw in. Before we fully tighten it, we just make sure that it's moving it. That means we're in the right spot. And now we're going to tighten her down. Again, being careful not to damage our little screw here. So don't Hulk tighten it, guys. I know sometimes the urge is there. Alright, so there we go. And it's operating smoothly. Alright, I'm just going to do a quick little function check. Safety's on, so you'll notice what's going to happen. It's going to let the hammer go forward, but it's not going to allow it to strike the firing pin. See what I mean with the gap there? Okay, and then switch it off, so on fire. There we go, it fully engages. Fully functional lever action rifle, folks. And what I like to do is I would like to give it a little bit of a wipe down on the outside as well with the cloth. There might be a bit of residual CLP on it. I've never seen it damage any form of a finish, including the wood. However, don't douse anything in it. Alright folks, so that is a clean lever action rifle ready for the next range day. Like I said, there's a million ways to do this. This is just how we do it, and it's worked really well for us so far. So if you learned something new or enjoyed our video, guys, please give us a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and leave us a comment down below. We really appreciate that. All that support allows us to survive in big YouTube land. If you're watching this on Rumble, please give us a plus for the Rumble, and there'll be a green subscribe button around the frame somewhere as well. Y'all stay safe, and we'll see you next time.